Hello my scrappy friends and welcome to my channel once again today. Now this is a share for Anna's craft cupboard and it is a class I recently did at the annual craft day. This is the page I created and I'm working with the beautiful Just a Little Lovely Pink Fresh Studio collection. You can see I'm scrapbooking a photo of myself and I'm starting with this absolutely gorgeous Prima stencil and some Nouveau embellishment mousse in aloe vera. Now, if you haven't used this, it is a little bit thicker than like regular texture paste, but I really love it. It holds its shape and goes less under the stencil than texture paste does, if that makes any sense at all. So you can see I'm just mushing that through this stencil here, and I'm going to work in a diagonal from the top left down to the bottom right, and I just keep checking my photo to see how that fits. You can see as I get closer to the edges, I'm kind of flicking my spatula up so that I don't get any really harsh lines. It kind of fades out a little bit. Peel my stencil off. I'm going to give that a clean and then no, I'm not going to give that a clean yet. I am just going to apply a little bit more here. Now, because it's not like regular modelling paste, it doesn't smoosh quite as easily, which is awesome. So you can see I have applied that down the other side as well. And here is where I'm adding my colours. So I'm using some Lindy's Stamp Gang, what are they? Starburst sprays. And the four colours that I'm using, so the pink is called Saltwater Taffy. Then the orange, which is what I've put up in the right hand side there, is Marigold Yellow Orange. The blue, which is very bold, is Delphinium Turquoise. And then the yellow is Yellow Rose of Texas. You have to excuse me, I have a cold again. It's kind of driving me crazy. But I've put those into a little paint tray here because I wanted a bit more control over the colour. And as I mentioned, that blue is very bold, and the colours in this collection that I'm working with are much softer colours. So I knew that if I used a paintbrush and applied it like this, I would have more control over how bold the colours were. You can see I started with the yellow up in the top corner there, and I've just used, I sprayed the page, which I have used clear gesso to prepare before I turn the camera on. I've sprayed the, sorry, once, I'm so sorry. Before I started applying the colour, I spritzed the page with water. There you go, I found my words. So sorry. And you can see I'm just adding a little bit of colour, adding some water, using my paintbrush to move it around. This pink is very, very light, so I do add 2 layers of the pink. But you see here, you'll see in a sec, I go, oh my goodness, where's my orange going? So I was like, what colours make orange? The pink and the yellow will make orange, so the orange can go between the pink and the yellow. So what I've actually got on my page is a layer of the pink and then the orange on top, but it looks orange to me and I'm quite happy with it. So again, I'm just doing the same thing, adding water, adding the colour, adding a bit more water, moving the colour around, soaking some of the colour up when it's too much, using my heat tool to dry it off. And then just adding a bit more colour where I want maybe the edges to blend together a little bit more. You can see that I've added the blue to the other side of the yellow and I've got a bit of a green happening there. Now the beautiful things with these Lindy's is once the colour is dry, they don't really mix again, which is really cool when you want pink and blue next to each other and you don't really want purple. So I have sped this bit up a fair bit because it is not all that exciting. I'm so sorry for the sniffing. I'm trying not to. You can see I'm making sure that that pink is completely dry before I go back in with that blue. I do want to add more blue because at least half of what I've got on there has turned green, which I'm fine with. I don't have a problem with green, but I want to make sure that when I add that blue, it stays blue and doesn't turn purple. This is probably the part of the page that took the most time. So again, I'm adding a bit of water first. Now I have mentioned this already, that blue is very bold. So I'm literally adding the tiniest amounts here and then using water to move that around. I come in with my paper towel, more water. You can see I'm really adding in tiny little dabs of that colour because it is very bold, but it's beautiful. And the shimmer on here is gorgeous. There you go, I just use my paper towel. And there is the dried colour on the background. I love how this came together. The soft colours, yeah, the way they blended together, I really love it. I'm going to come in with some splatters, and I'm going to do the yellow where the yellow is, orange where the orange is, the pink where the pink is, and the blue where the blue is. And as you can see, I'm just dabbing that up with a paper towel as well, because again, when these colours go on without water, they are very bold. And if you like the boldness, and you obviously don't soak them up, don't use water, but yeah. The pink I do leave, I think I dry the pink with the heat tool, yeah. Then I come back in with that blue. Now I knew that this blue was going to be super like, wow, that's blue. So I'm going to come straight back in with that paper towel, and then that tones that colour down again for me. So I'm good to go here now with my page design. This is the ephemera pack. And so I'm just pulling out bits that I think I might use. And I pull out way more than what I think I'm going to use, knowing that I'm not going to use it all. Pop that aside. These are the layered stickers. When I first saw these, I was like, oh my gosh. The one that I used, that first one that I cut off with the floral and I can't remember what it says, that's probably my favourite in the pack. I love it. I think it says Simply Lovely or something. An exclusive acrylic title by Annabelle, which I really love. Now, that did not break in the post. It was not the acrylic's fault. I was so eager to get it out of the packaging that I broke it. So be gentle. Bryony does take every care to make sure that they arrive safely. So yes, be careful. So you can see I'm just arranging my ephemera around the photo. I've got those two tabs. One says highlights with a pink tab, and the other says today in a green tab. And this is where I feel that my page design starts to come together. So I've got a little square sentiment that says believe in yourself. And I'm pretty sure that that 3D sticker says Simply Lovely. I'm going to add a couple of layers behind my photo. Now I start with this pattern, and I did cringe a little bit when I cut it because of the beautiful rainbow pattern on the back. And then when you see what I do with this paper, I'm a bit disappointed with myself because I don't end up using that piece that I cut, and I chose that specific piece because it's got the blue and the green, but it's got that rainbow on the back, which I really love. But that's okay because there's more paper, and I definitely do not have a shortage of rainbow paper. I am roughing up the edges of my layers here, and I'm just going to place them behind the photo in a way that I like. And then I think this bit I speed up super fast for you as well. I'm going to add another layer behind here of that pink. When Bryony and I were talking about which collection I was going to use, I was like, I can go very girly and pretty and pink with this collection. So I did. Again, roughing up the edges of that. I love the watercoloriness of this as well. Like the papers are just stunning. It's an absolute gorgeous collection. So lucky that I got to work with it. Adding in some cheesecloth, something different for me. I always forget I have this in my stash. So I'm really glad that Bryony made the suggestion. I'm adding in a couple of pieces into my layers there, just for a little bit of different texture and fun. Once I get my title stuck down, you can't even tell that I broke it. I think that says all the small things or something to that effect. That's another of the 3D stickers. I've got a floral piece underneath it. And I try a couple of these other little pink flowers. A couple of these leaves. And it kind of ends up like this, but a little bit different. There was part of me that wanted to do like tone on tone embellishing. And if truth be told, I'm glad I didn't, because it meant I could mix it up a bit more. So I'm bringing in this other floral. I like that it's got more colour in it and it kind of separates it a bit more from the background. Just flipping through, seeing what else is there that I can use. Yes I do, I take this off and I'm using just the label part of it. The other side says family time or something. And then that little notebook paper bit, again, I just chopped off the edge of that because I know I can use the other piece of it for something else. Now I love these little epoxy dots. They are beautiful. And I'm pretty sure I get 2 of them on the page. You can see I've got a third one there on the page. No, I've got 2 on the page at the moment. So funny. You see it there for the whole thing, and then it must have fallen off when I was putting all my things together because one of them is not on the page. So you can see I've stuck all my layers together. I've added some foam, I've roughed up the edges of everything. I've also done a little bit of fussy cutting from that black and white floral pattern. Copy my date on that label, and then I'm going to stick my cluster down. I am using wet glue because nothing likes to stick to mixed media, and there is gesso and then the paste and then the watercolor on the background. I'm just adding a bit of glue underneath there as well so that the cheesecloth stays where I want it, and I'm just adding again my Scotch tacky to behind this acrylic piece. I'm going to make sure that it is straight because nothing else on the page is, and I wanted that to be. And the glue from the acrylic will stick down the cheesecloth as well. So I am going to stick all this together and then put something heavy on top to make sure that it sticks down. I think, yep, a punch. Then I've got this little cluster that's going underneath. I've used a label from the ephemera pack behind that sticker, and then I've stuck down the floral. There's one of the wood buttons from the mixed embellishment pack. I cut one of the bigger florals in half that I fussy cut out. I'm going to add in the epoxy dot there, which I really like. And I'm pretty sure I've stuck everything else down. I'm going to give you a close-up of that. Then I'm going to come in with a few finishing touches. So I'm going to start with these phrase stickers from Pink Fresh Studio. I can't remember what any of them say, but they're all very positive, happy little sentiments. I add those in 3 places, I think. Then I come in with the Nauvoo stone drops. Now, if you haven't used these things are awesome. They're exactly like the crystal drops, except they have a rough stone finish. It's really cool. Just adding those in white. And I think I do 3 lots of 3 or maybe 4 lots of 3 of them. I can't remember for sure. And then my very final thing, I'm going to come in with some of the gold glitter enamel dots from the mixed embellishment pack. And again, I'm going to do 3 clusters of 3 in those 3 embellishment clusters. And I really love how this page has come together. I am really looking forward to, so when I record this, I haven't taught the class yet. It's in a couple of weeks. But I'm really looking forward to teaching in a couple of weeks, and I hope that you have enjoyed my share. This collection is absolutely beautiful, so fun to work with. I'll make sure I leave links to everything in the description box below. As usual, if you have any questions, please make sure you leave them below. Otherwise, thank you for stopping by. Have a fantastic scrappy day. Bye.